Hello. Great to see everyone here for the Monday stream. I'm always excited about a Monday stream. It seems like Monday's the top of the week for me. And yeah, it should be an interesting, I don't know, kind of exciting stream. I'm looking forward. I've got my work, been doing some work, talking with the other engineers, software engineers, having some meetings. Tomorrow I'll be at the office, so it's good that I have today to kind of work from home, take a little break with you guys. I always look forward to streaming because streaming is like a nice, relaxing break for me. I get to play some Microsoft Flight Simulators. You got your own series. Good to see you, by the way. How you doing? When is our show coming out? You got your own series. You going to the office tomorrow too? Yeah, Tuesdays go to the office day apparently these days in America. Boy, let's get started. What's gonna happen? Right. So what's gonna happen today on today's web stream? Well, let me talk about the fuel. Here's the fuel for the stream. Let's just see if it's operating correctly. Got to fuel up. Don't want to go into a stream unfueled. We have the beautiful Bluetooth controller. I just replaced the rechargeable battery. It's fully charged up. Okay, so thank you, Hobie Gal. This is your suggestion. And by the way, yeah, it's worth it to update 2020. I just did a full update of 2020, and it did take a while. And not only that, I took my ornithopter out of the cold storage systems and brought it back. And you know what? I think we're going to fly the ornithopter today from the Dune expansion. So that'll be fun because I haven't done it in a while. We're going to have to figure out the control schemes and what we can do with it, what we can't do with it. But you know, that'll be kind of part of the exploration. I don't think we'll be doing the actual Dune missions or anything like that, although they're kind of fun. So we're just going to do some flying around in the world. Yeah, no, and the ornithopter in the game is very detailed and really well done. I'm kind of glad that it still works. I did load it and confirm that at least I could fly it around. All right, so there'll be some big brain games today. I don't know. We might watch some of Catfucks TV's strange name. He always changes it a lot. Your 22nd episode. Just post it in the Discord. Just post a couple. Maybe we'll watch those, but not till after the flying around. Okay, which is like 45 minutes or 50 minutes of flying around in the ornithopter. Maybe a couple of different places, you know. But maybe we'll do like a canyon, like Grand Canyon, and also a New York trip or something. Actually, how about Australia? So after the big brain games, we're going to do, as you know, I play those games. There'll be a break, and then today is a guitar celebration. I will be celebrating the playing. In fact, I should turn this amp on. Get it warmed up. It's a real privilege to play on an actual Fender Stratocaster. It's a classic. So I will be booting up my amp. Thank you for posting the Discord. All right, let's get to it though, because we probably have things to do. I don't know, places to be. So I've loaded here. You'll see does this work? It does. Okay. Hello, world map. It's a little sluggish. I got a lot of stuff loaded and it preloads everything. But you see, I have preloaded the Atreides ornithopter here. Oh, probably about 45, 50 minutes. Not super long today because, you know, I'm limited in that I do want to continue my work day after the show. I've got a few things I need to... some programming code that I wrote in the morning, but it needs to be tested in the afternoon. That's kind of how I do things. And then tomorrow I've got a little mini release. All right, so you see here, one thing I had downloaded was the Superman skin. But that's on the other computer. I didn't bring it in, but there's some nice kind of skins. But as it is, it only comes in this one livery, which is fine. So... Let's pick somewhere to fly. Anywhere else? Anybody got any suggestions while we're here? It's still dark in Australia, but we could light it up. We can always light it up there because it's like what 4 a.m. there. There's Hawaii. Oh, you know what? What's up here? I think it might be fun to fly like to Anchorage from Valdez. It's not that far, and we're in a really fast device. I mean, you can call it a plane, but you get a lot of interesting terrain, and then you get the city of Anchorage. It's kind of cool. It's just a random place to go. Let's do the fun cold starting of the plane, where we can kind of do a walk around. It's not a plane; it is what it is, and kind of check out some of the features. It's certainly not like any of the flying craft. I mean, the closest thing it is, well, I was going to say it's comparing to the AT Ascendants, but it doesn't fly at all like the Ascendants. It can't really hover like a helicopter, but it can kind of hover. Oh, it looks like it's rainy here. I like it. We might have to change the weather. Oh, it looks like it's just rainy locally. There's a little bit of a local rainstorm here. Valdez Airport, Alaska. It's pretty well done for a little out in the middle of nowhere airport. You know, they've already done some. You see, they've done some improvement work to make it look pretty cool. And this is the ornithopter. It's very kind of gray and drab. And that's the little pilot in there. You can see 4 seats behind you. There's a bunch of different versions of the ornithopter. There's one that has two of the beating of the kind of insect's wings, and one has 4. This is the bigger one. I think there's even more. But a lot of them have this ramp at the back, and that's how you enter. You kind of walk up and down that ramp, and that's part of the landing gear. All right, let's see if we can get this fired up a little bit. Okay, we're going to turn our battery on, fuel valve to on, alternator to on, avionics master. That's the lights of all these little things here. Let's see, we got dome light. Turn on. Okay, landing lights on. Oh, they're bright. Panel lights are on. Leave them off for now. All right, so engine start is there. You can kind of hear it. Whistling on there, but it starts pretty quickly, I think. So the next thing we're going to do is the wings unfold. And it goes through this whole very elaborate unfolding procedure where the wings also move 180 degrees and they start beating like a thing. Okay, so we got their things open. Okay, let's just check out what we got here. It's time to close the doors. So that door has this great thunk sound too. Really elaborate, and a really elaborate kind of hinge mechanism there. So you can see the things rotating. Got those. Oh, those are the interior lights. I don't know if we need those. What my question is do we have? See, I don't see we're having. Let me just check why I don't have access to my radio. I should have it on scroll lock. Okay, that's an issue. Let me just go check my controls here. Yeah, for some reason the keyboard keeps getting set to short keyboard and not my keyboard. So that should be better. So now I should be able to bring up that, tune the ground. Let's just depart. And we're going to head west to Anchorage. Is that somebody we know? Because we are playing on, I think we're playing on the US West servers. But I don't know if I have my nameplates turned on. But that could be somebody we know. Of course, I think they are flying a helicopter. It's hard to tell. Okay, knowledge taxi clearance. I can actually use my keyboard. It is definitely appears to be somebody. Do I have nameplates turned off? Let me just check this real quickly in my options. Options, traffic. Oh yeah, I have nameplates turned off. Interesting. Yeah, so I know I just turned nameplates back on. Oh, apply and save. Oh, back. Let's see if we can see you now. It might take a second for nameplates to start appearing. What are you in? Oh, you're in an ornithopter too. And it's not showing, which is kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, so we can give us a little gas. And kind of hover a bit here. Yeah, it says, okay, now it says ornithopter and it's got your name. Well, but I don't have wheels, so I can't taxi. You know what I mean? All right, let's head out of here. Or we want to head, if I remember, west to get towards, so that direction, which should be cool. So we're gonna head west. Yeah, that's fine. I guess, and we're getting some rain effects. Okay, so just to move forward, what we're gonna do is give a little boost. It's got these little booster things on the back. It's pretty cool. And then we get some serious speed. So I've got to learn how to do this again. Again, we're not really concerned. I'm not really concerned about air traffic. But we're gonna head out over this beautiful terrain here. This is Valdez, so I assume this is a pretty well-known oil port here. Oil tanker ports would come here. oil tankers would come here to unload their tank loads, I guess. Yeah, I figured it was you, but I wasn't sure why it was. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. I don't have the exact system I have. Okay. I want to... Okay. Gear up. So that's gear down and gear up. So now the gear is up. Clock on it. That's good. All right. We're at full power, which is why we're going so fast. Want to slow down a bit. We want to enjoy the terrain. And one of the things it features is great visibility out of these huge windows. Although there are some reflections, it's not bad. Yeah, we do want to go reasonably fast. We're going to go about 360. By heading this path here, basically we go over these mountains, and on the other side is where Anchorage, Alaska is. But yeah, Alaska's got a lot of beautiful desolation. You can kind of see on the other side of this ridge here. But it's not going to take us very long to get around there because we're really going fast. It's just hard to judge speeds because it's such an unusual kind of craft. But I guess it's based on real physics though. That might be it. Yeah, I like, I have a custom livery. I have the Superman livery, which I flew a lot when I did fly it, but I need to re-download it. But there's a bunch of really cool liveries, which you need because all you get is this really kind of boring but realistic dark gray one, which is effectively a camouflage for Dune. All right, let's try not to hit this little ridge here. There's a little extra power here. Maybe a little boost. Just beautiful. As I say, we're gonna after this flight, we're gonna do. We'll find a nice city to fly around. Okay, let me see if I can remember. Okay, in this version, this is the map. All right, good. I can do that. There's. Oh yeah. So yeah, actually, it's north. It's a little to the north. But yeah, those two kind of paths. Those are. Yeah, that's where. I think that's where Anchorage is, or maybe it's a little further out, actually. Like there. Yeah, it's a little further there. But we're heading that way. It's just beautiful mountainous terrain. Very snowy, and of course, it's August. So I assume that... I think I have live weather turned on. Let's see. It says live weather there, and shows live weather, and shows the time of day. So it's in Alaska. It's 10:49 earlier. I'm guessing 1 hour earlier. Because it's 11:49 here. Yes. Anyway, you can see the detailing of the model, the way these those little hubs move and vibrate to make kind of like this weird kind of a circular oscillating motion. And they're synced up together, and kind of dirt and crust on the front, those front panels. You can kind of see in the reflection, you can see some dirting to give it that weathered effect. You got a little insignia there. That's House Atreides insignia there. Well, it would work really well. What we don't have is what is the power source, We don't have a system for efficiently, powering these kind of oscillating motors, and that's the limitation. The other issue would be the materials that are needed to create these aerodynamic blades that are they have to be long because they don't move a lot, so they got to be long to push a reasonable amount of air, and so it's more of if you could build a machine like this and power it, it would be awesome. It would certainly be fantastic. But it is very science fiction-y in terms of the fact that in order for it to work correctly, you have to imagine materials and, most importantly, power sources that we don't understand here on Earth. We don't have access to. You can see here it's got like a fuel source and an afterburner. You can see the afterburners coming out there, but that's not really an afterburner. That's more of a jet-propelled or a rocket-propelled system. Because I'm not sure exactly what kind of engines they're talking about in there, and it shows power being generated more like a helicopter would. So it's kind of hard to imagine if in real life these would be cool or not. By the way, cool glaciers here. I'm a fan of glaciers. I like glaciers. You can see where it starts up, and then comes a river of ice that heads down there, And that's the end of the glacier because it turns into water. But glaciers are quite interesting from a scientific point of view. They have phases of ice in them that don't appear normally due to pressure. And it's also very underneath them at the bottom. Apparently, there's a regime where there could be liquid water flowing like a river underneath the ice. That's just barely above freezing. Pretty cool. All right, well, this will be our nature flight for today. Next, we'll do a city flight. I always like to point out that Los Angeles looks better in 2020 than in 2024. So maybe, you know, we'll do that. I feel like I fly around LA a lot, but a lot of those times are in 2024, and it's okay, but well, it depends. Some things look better in 2024 in Los Angeles, like in the same area. There's another valley here. I think we're still heading towards Anchorage, but it's just gorgeous, but extremely, like, I don't know, you know, nobody's ever been here. Yeah, it's just nice for a change. You know, I haven't been here in a while and wanted to see what it looks like. We're getting some decent amount of clouds, but nothing that's really obscuring the trip. And again, this plane is fast enough that we can kind of pick a pretty decent, like a 30-mile or 40-mile trek and easily complete it. So, but you know, yeah, I'm just enjoying that. We will hit the city eventually. You can kind of see where it says Wiki 39. I'm pretty sure that's where Anchorage is. So there is now a symbol. And let's see, we have Hopi Gal is kind of making right behind us. In that ornithopter back there. Again, if it were a standard skin, yeah, it probably would have shown. Or if it was a skin that maybe that I'd also downloaded. But yeah, you can add those on in community content. But there's a bunch of really cool things in 2020. I think I have an aircraft carrier that I can only use in 2020. We're gonna have to get a little altitude here. What's our current altitude? We're about 7,400 feet. We're making good time. We got plenty of afterburner fuel. We're going to kind of head over this ridge to the right and then make a left turn. Actually, I think we're probably heading in the right direction because I see some points of interest up ahead. Oops. I keep putting down the landing gear when I want to move because I have a slightly different... The gamepad's not exactly what I want it to be, but... All right, so there's a couple of interesting modes on this thing that aren't available. There's called the dive mode and the glide mode. In the glide mode, you temporarily stop your engines, or the engines are going, but the wings are not, and then you can kind of glide down very quick, you know, and silently, I guess, and then you put that out, and then you kind of pull out of it. Dive mode is even more dramatic. We're going to need a reasonable amount of altitude over the ground, and when you're doing the dune content, you'll see why you do it. Dive mode is like this. Not only do you stop the things, but you also fold them back. And that really starts you going down, so you don't want to do that for too long. But it induces a very, very long dive, which you can always boost back out of. All right, and then the final maneuver is using the rotor or the wings to slow you down and effectively act like a helicopter. So I hold down my Y button, and you see they effectively kind of reverse their thrust, so they're kind of pushing forward vastly, and then I can effectively hover. And if I want to start going again, I'm going to want to use those use my thrusters to get going again. So in other words, how you kind of maneuver is pretty much just completely unique to this plane, to this craft. For example, I'm comparing it to that AT Ascendance. In the AT Ascendance, there's a button where you click from hover to fly. There's nothing like that, which I think is cool. You can hover and you can fly, but you have to use the capability of the wings and figure out how to do that right. And you can actually land on a specific point on the ground. Should not be a huge problem. But it's also something I'm not demonstrating is it is extremely maneuverable. There's some weird things you can do, like you can fly on edge. Like, well, I'll show you can do it. You fly on edge like that. So you're flying and then you use your rudder controls to keep you flying forward. It's just a maneuver it could do that other players can't do. Why you'd want to fly for extended periods of time. on the side. I don't know, but you can. Just another random thing you can do. It's called Ancient something. Yeah, the one I downloaded was called Superman, or it's red and blue. It's got a Superman logo on it, I think. But there are a bunch of them. I'll have to find them. They're at flightsim.to, and they're free. All right, we're almost getting. Well, actually, we got a ways to go because you can kind of see where it starts to turn into a city in that direction. I believe there's still a lot of natural beauty to be found here. But shortly we'll be getting into the most populated part of Alaska. It's not that populated. Actually, Juneau is probably more populated than Anchorage. It's further south. I'm not sure. Anchorage, I guess, is a bigger city than Juneau. We should fly around Juneau, too. I'm always trying to figure out what these instruments mean because they're a little hard to read. Hold on a second. It froze on me. That's typical of 2020, the little freezings. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It's not going to crash. Like, how are you supposed to read these little instruments? They are different than the typicals. What's we got here? We got comm frequency, crew volume. This is communications controls. I don't know what these are. Oh, yeah. Dive mode, glider mode, wing brake. Okay, booster mode. Okay, I got all those mapped. This is the gear. Yeah, then it's engine fold, panel lights, dome light. I don't think any of these do anything. Nothing does anything up here. Oh, you can change your heading bug. But is there an autopilot? Interestingly. That's the first time I've ever tried that. I don't think there is an autopilot. I mean, this is the whole controls. Oh, yeah, the mini HUD in the cockpit. I don't really think it's necessary. But that's a good point because it doesn't really show you the power. Well, I guess it does. You just have to learn to interpret. Like when I change the throttle, there's a little thing that changes on a meter in the bottom center area there, I believe. Not exactly sure where it is. All right, here we're coming to let's lower ourselves down here. We do need to get down altitude. Wow, this is just gorgeous terrain. I've never been to Alaska, so it's always great to go someplace and go, wow, I almost feel like I've been there. But this is the kind of the what you might call the municipal area. We'll fly around a bit. It's kind of a city. I think, or this says Butte Municipal. Is that? It's a little closer. I think it's a little further. I think Anchorage is that direction, right? Wolf Lake. I don't know now. Downwind Landing. I mean, there's a bunch of airports around here, but there's a lot of airports in Alaska because there's so much bush activity, bush flying. But if I remember correctly, it's still a little further west. But we're starting to get into places where we're starting to see what we haven't seen before, which is people living. People putting their houses up, building streets. Actual civilization. And it should get a little more as we move to the west here. But this is not Anchorage itself, I don't think, right? Is it up there? I don't know. Eagles. I love the names of all these bush areas. Did you see anything there? Not really. We'll just see if we can fit Palmer Buddy Woods Municipal. Okay. But if I remember correctly, it's further west of us. This is kind of an eastern suburb. B&B Boys Ranch. Okay. There's a lot of stuff here. I think most of these are helicopter landing pads. But you know what we can land at? Helicopter landing pads, because we're kind of that craft. Maybe we should try it sometime. That's a lot of little places though of interest for this area. I mean, I'm kind of shocked. Walby Lake. Finger Lake. Okay. Four Corners. Boy, there's so many of these little airstrips, though. some of these looks like these are, it just says a lake. I guess you can land a water skis on there. What's over here? Memory Lake. God, the names are so evocative. Each one of these things is a little lake. I mean, this is a glacial. Oops. You know, a glacial remains. There's a glacier up there. So it leaves all these lakes. Wasilla Lake. Yeah, now Wasilla is definitely a suburb of Anchorage. But I don't know where we are. All right, I'm gonna do something I should have done a while ago, which is go to the Google Maps because I don't know it. I think I know where I know we're still in Alaska, but I just want to make sure. Wasilla, Alaska. Okay, there's the Wasilla Airport. Yeah, and I see all these lakes. I just want to know which way to Anchorage. Southwest. Thank you. Thank you, Google Maps. Southwest it is. I don't know if I would have known that for sure. I mean, I kind of thought we're following the path of where people are driving around. It's still a little ways. But there's a lot of communities out here that are effectively little suburbs, effectively, of Anchorage, South Hollywood. And they all have their own little airstrips. As I say, because, you know, flying a small plane is much more common there. And, you know, probably, and there's a lot of pilots in small planes. Right? Mainly because it's the only way to get from point A to point B. This is kind of a cool little path here. I think this is, that's power line. That's a power line right away there. All right, so we're heading southwest. Yeah. Perfect. I believe this is a direct path to... Actually, it might be kind of there. But just beautiful terrain. So we're down at like 2,000 feet because we're getting close to the ocean water level. We were quite a ways up when we were back in the mountains that way. There's Hobie Gal in the ornithopter there. Again, you have to get really close to be able to actually see the models. But it's more of a, I'm going about 120 degrees, 198 here. I'm just wondering, it's been seeing that lake thing. Okay, Lake Hood, 14 miles. It's basically, this is the Knik River, K-N-I-K. But it kind of expands out into what they call the Knik Arm, which I think is more of a lagoon or an isthmus or whatever. Okay, Ted Stevens Anchorage International. That's our destination area in general. 14 miles, and we're going pretty fast. Somebody's flying a 777 up there. We could probably catch them. We're actually faster in one with a boost on than a jet, which is kind of crazy. But we are an alien craft. You know what I mean? Oops, that's what I wanted. Wait, what's going on here? Cancel that. Cancel. Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. Okay, resume. I don't know what that was about. Alright, there she goes. That's the correct thing. Alright. Alright, boost. See if I can catch this 777. Wasted my boost fuel, but hey. Yeah, I don't think I quite can. We're going off. No, there you go. It's not, it doesn't appear as a 777 in the game. It's a real plane there. All right, where's Anchorage? It's around here somewhere. But yeah, these have crazy capabilities. It's this way. So this is where you're starting to see an actual city. And the airport is there. We're going to get low again. I've never actually personally been to Alaska. I mean, the furthest north I've been is Vancouver. There's an interesting kind of building here. What is this? I wonder if we get close to it, if we can figure it out. It's like a ring. It's got like a parking lot. I wonder if it's some kind of military installation. How are we doing? So I'm just jamming on the wing brakes here. And there we go. I'm trying to watch my vertical velocity. Put my gear down in case we decide to land. Gear's coming down. Very nice. So it looks like from here. Now the cool thing is you can look down. There's a little window down there. So what I saw from the air that I was kind of curious about is this this round circular structure here. I have a feeling as we get closer to it, it won't necessarily show too much more detail. But it also could be some kind of, like, I don't know, some kind of antenna or something. It has some kind of verticality that's not really, it's hard to indicate. Yeah, I wonder if this is like a long range, low frequency radio frequency antenna or something like that. And it looks like some kind of military installation. I believe they have them out there. And they could look like that, but it's just purely speculation. All right, gear back up. A little boost here. All right, we're gonna fly low over Anchorage. Now, a lot of Anchorage is not really above ground, like a lot of the main buildings. There's pedestrian connections that go underground, because if it's raining, snowing, whatever, bad weather out, people don't want to go outside. And apparently they don't have to. There's a very complicated, in this like 4-block area, there's a very long, a complex system underground, so even though you can't see from above ground, you don't have to get through to these buildings. You don't have to go above ground. You know, there's pedestrian corridors that go under between all the buildings. But I mean, obviously they don't. You know, there's a lot of areas you want to drive through. So yeah, so that's Anchorage. There's the main airport, Anchorage International. It's a pretty cool looking airport too. All right, we're going to end this part and do a little city flight, but I'm going to land somewhere. So again, landing is just a matter of putting putting those wings in brake mode. And then as you slow down, you want to apply power so you don't sink too fast. You can use your rudder pedals to turn. Slow way down. We got a jet down there. We're going to land down here. It's a nice looking terminal. And then what you want to do is wait till you give it a little more of these. Give a little of this as you approach. Don't keep from landing too hard. Boom. Not too bad. All right, open up the doors. We're gonna do the flight in the ornithopter, but I want to do more of a city. I just like the way the doors open. All right, I just want to do more of an actual, city flight. So, because most of this was very attractive. Mountainous, snowy mountain terrain. So if Hobie lands here, it's not going to look like two ornithopters because of her extra skin, apparently, of her add-on skin. But you can see that her plane is fully capable of landing, gently. In the same way that my ornithopter was. It's kind of funny to see a default skin there. But yeah, that's how the game works. It's a known, how can I phrase it? A known bug. Especially, as I say, if you have an add-on, it can't possibly have all the possible skins. But I have, when the ornithopters first came out, everyone was flying them, and as long as you had the default skin on, I'd see other ornithopters flying around in the game, and they were clearly doing their thing. So I know it's possible to see other ornithopters as ornithopters. It just has to do with an add-on skin that I don't have, right? It may not matter if I have it or not. All right, let's go somewhere else. I just want to go somewhere else because I'm having a great time flying it. I want to get some more practice. We're going to try to maybe land at the top of a tall building too. But I want to show you guys what I mean by that LA looks better in 2020. And what specific, I probably done this a million times before. But we'll do it again. In that the Griffith Observatory, which is admittedly called out individually here. All right, we'll take off from Santa Monica. And what's this here? Oh yeah, the Getty Museum. We're gonna check out these places here. Actually, I want to go from the actual. There we go. Runway is fine. We don't need to cold start it. All right, this is Santa Monica, KSMO. Challenging terrain because of all the buildings in Los Angeles for my computer. In other words, the digital aspect of it is a challenge. For a thopter, it's got some really like text down here. Most unique method of airborne travel throughout the Imperium. Well, good to know. I got plenty of Diet Coke left. That's the important thing, really. More important than the Imperium. So we're going to look at a couple of those landmarks, and they look so much better in 2020 than 2024. I don't know why. I should be able to use this, right? Hello. I think that's a bug. Yeah, let me just check this again. It looks like it defaulted again to my other keyboard. Yeah, it went back to the short keyboard. And not my keyboard. Apply and save. Why did it not apply and save it last time? Okay, now I can bring this up. We're already cleared to take off. It's fine. All right, let's get out of here. Give it some power. Takes off vertically like a helicopter. And then you basically aim it forward, give it a little boost. Oh yeah, gear up. Yeah, let's see if you do load. I'm not gonna try to do anything. All right, so this is Santa Monica, California. This Santa Monica Pier is right here. Am I right, or is it down here? I believe the Santa Monica, the main Santa, yeah, the famous Santa Monica Pier is here. And this is great. Well, my PC is, I just got it this year. This is the first time I've flown this the Ornithopter and 2020 on this PC. I remember now because last time I flew it, it was my other PC where I had downloaded the Superman skin for this, but I didn't bring it over. So that's how I know this is the first time I've ever flown. So anyway, there's the up here is the Getty Museum, and it's really cool. But again, this is West Los Angeles here. West Los Angeles. Looks like, well, yeah, my previous was a 2022, as I mentioned. But yeah, I like to get a new PC every 5 years, so this is a 2025 model. And I spec'd it out as best as I could to be a good flight simulator. To be good at running the flight simulators. So I opted for very fast memory. I want to stop here real quick. The Getty Museum in this game, it looks good in 2024, but in 2020 it looks amazing. I mean, it's incredible. It's got that lawn thing there and all these buildings. I've never been here. This is pretty recent, and I didn't really live in LA that much, or that recently. But this is all West LA, Beverly Hills, Bel Air. Down there, you can see that campus down there is UCLA. Well, that's where I went to school. I always like to point that out. And yeah, and then you got this really rich area here. But it looks, about the same in 2024. There's certain buildings that are going to be better. But man, this is a very fancy area here. But the one that specifically looks better, both the places I'm going to show you look better, are Griffith Park Observatory and the Hollywood sign, which is a place that everyone wants to go when they go to LA, so you'd think it would look fine. But at least in my game, 2024 Griffith Park Observatory and the Hollywood sign are kind of just more crude. They don't look good to the same. Beautiful day in Los Angeles. You can see the Wilshire Corridor, Sunset Wilshire Corridor there, and then downtown Los Angeles in the distance there. But we're flying over kind of the famous parts like Hollywood, West Hollywood here. Lots of famous movie theaters. This is kind of where some of the studios are. this area here. You can see the Cinerama Dome, and so I know the sign is up there, and the Griffith Park Observatory is here. We'll fly over both, but I want to slow down a bit here. We should actually be able to land. Or like, you know, flit somewhere. I don't know exactly where you want to land. But recently I came here, I think in the ATIA, and flew around the Griffith Observatory and noted that it looked pretty muddy and low res. And well, compared to what? Well, compared to this, I mean, I don't know why it, you know, it looks so much better in 2024. Couldn't they have imported this or in 2020 compared to 2024? Couldn't have imported the same, unless I paid. Maybe I don't remember, like I paid as an add-on. I don't think so though. I think this is just how it looks. This is the back of it. We want to kind of find the front of it. It's always packed with people. Trying to land it. Smash. Oh, you can't really land there. There's no ground. That's fine. We're taking off again. It's fine. I wasn't sure there'd be a solid surface there. Alright. And the Hollywood sign's up this way. You'll see, it's easy to find because there's a, like a tower up here. There should be. Anyway, it's quite visible, but, you know, if you have to know where it is, you think the Hollywood sign is huge. And it is. I mean, it's like 4 stories tall. But it is also on the top of a ridge. It's quite far from everything. So the actual letters look so much better here. So much better than in 2024. But in 2024, that thing looks much better. Oops, wait a minute, full power. We're fine, full power. The thing at the top, which is a radio station, has like an actual tower and lots of detail. I'm just trying to get the hang of extremely tricky maneuvering. So this is a famous reservoir in here, and a cool dam. And again, a lot of this looks better in 2020. People live there. It's dangerous looking to me, but hey. And then right here is the Hollywood Bowl, right down below us there. Famous amphitheater. So I like flying around Los Angeles. It's just there's all sorts of recognizable landmarks, if you know what you're looking for. I wonder if we can find. I'm gonna find the. We're gonna go to the Los Angeles airport. I want to find the stadium that they have. I want to see if it looks better in 2024. The newer, you know, the newer stadium. It's just to the east of the airport, so it's really easy to find. It's just east of LA, Los Angeles International. So we're gonna fly low over the entire LA basin here. Again, that's downtown. Downtown is such a small component physically compared to Los Angeles. Okay, can I actually turn the volume down? Because I don't want to hear that. There's some hills here. A freeway. Lots of fancy people. This whole area is covered with oil derricks. It's apparently a very famous area known for oil production for some reason. And it's always been that way. And then we head out to every time you go to the airport, you're always like, oh, why are there so many oil rigs? You know, it's a part of LA where they have oil. They drill oil. Not necessarily a lot, but... So this is the airport. So if we head that way, we're going to run into the stadium, which I want to check out. I'm not sure, again, how detailed it is in the game. Oh, nice. See, now you're the ornithopter. We got you. We got you. We'll do some formation flying here. See if I can get closer. You don't want to do too much boost, or I'll go right past. Combination of boost and slowing down. This is what it looks like from here. It's actually not that hard to do this do what we're doing here. A lot of, because I mean, we got to know what you're doing, but formation flying, I think was the term I was looking for. There's Long Beach down there. It's a long ass beach too. So I can use my booster to catch up. Is this marina? It's not marina drive. It's part of it. So, and slow down so I don't smash in. Yeah, I would say for formation flying, these might be some of the easiest ones you have. Oops, I think we just lost you. We just lost communication. Oh, there you go. Wow, that's pretty wild. All right, I want to check out the. I want to check out the stadium, and then we're probably gonna land. We'll switch to whatever the next thing it is. I don't know why my ear is down. Anyway, it's pretty close. We're just gonna go back up to the airport area and head east. Let's want to take a look and see what they got there. There's the airport. The stadium is right up here. You can kind of see the area where it is. And again, there's a lot of petroleum stuff going on in Los Angeles because they pump oil out of the ground and then they refine it too. In these giant oil refineries. All right, where's the airport? It's there, right? Okay, so the stadium's going to be over here. Right? I'm going to pass it. It's quite noticeable from the air. But I just have to know where the airport is. Okay, the airport is there. So the stadium that I'm looking for is, yeah, I think it's right up here. I'm not sure it's in the game. I think it's a big empty area. It's been there for a while. But it may not have been updated in the game. Yeah, okay, there's the airport. And the stadium that they built is on this plot of land here. But it's still not exactly represented in the game. It's been there for years. But this is what it looks like in the game. A construction site. Big one, too. I think it was the site of a big racetrack. Okay, so the Forum is there, but the place, the football stadium that they built is not there. Gorgeous day. I love it. So yeah. So again, the fun things you can do that are very unusual is one is called glide mode. Oh, that's dive mode. And then you come out of dive mode and you can kind of go real fast. So that's dive mode, and then glide mode is you just glide with your wings out, and you can kind of go quite a distance. Especially if you kind of maintain a low glide slope before you do little boosts here and there. Keep your speed up. You don't need to keep the wings running. I haven't really tried this for too long. You see the wings are sitting there doing nothing. You get that whistling sound. All right, we're turning them back on. There they go. All right, well, we'll land on the beach, I guess. Yeah, there's a decent improvement, obviously, between a 2020 PC and a 2025 PC. But, you know, the other thing is if I was trying to, you know, because I'm streaming and doing everything from a single PC, I definitely need a powerful PC. If you're just playing the game and you're not streaming, you're definitely using less. This is Marina Del Rey, by the way. I always like to talk about that. Pretty area here. All right, let's just land on the beach or something. I can put the gear down, start slowing way down. We're gonna land on this beach here, just for fun. I think it'll be good. Maybe have a nice maybe take a nice little screenshot here. It's basically as soft as you can land it. It's kind of it is what it is. I mean, soft enough. It's got that gear. All right. So now we can do this thing called fold wings back, right? Wings fold. So it stops the engine. You got to check this out though, up close. See all this little mechanism there? So each of the wings also turns 180 degrees, 180, and then folds backwards. All 8 wings. It's, I don't know. I find that sexy. All right, we should turn our landing lights off. Open the doors. So satisfying. Take a nice screenshot. All of that, probably towards the ocean, you know, or on the beach, in that direction. All right, let me get out of the plane. You know, whatever it is. I will definitely fly this again though, because it's a vibe. There we are. Okay. There's Hobie. It's nice, yeah. All right, let's see if I can work your way a little closer over here. They don't have what they don't have is wheels on the landing gear, so you can't technically taxi. You have to fly from point A to point B. All right, you need a little practice. Either that or I'm just lagging out. There you go. They are. I mean, imagining seeing these in the real world, and they fly so much like insects when you see them, or not even birds. Or maybe I guess a hummingbird is the most, the most natural equivalent. All right, let's take a picture of these two ornithopters. That's close enough. Kind of facing off against each other. All right, perfect. I like it. It's gonna have to do anyway. Very nice. Whew. All right, that was fun, and we pretty much run into the time that I like to do the flight simulating on. But Wednesday, Friday, lots more streams coming in, and they will all start with some kind of Microsoft Flight Simulator trip of some kind. I don't like to repeat the same thing every time, but I also don't like to plan too much in advance either. But today, yeah, it was a great idea to try the ornithopter. All right, I do want to switch out here for a second here. It was really fun flying, and I think we've just barely kind of scratched the surface on what can be done, what kind of things. I mean, you can land on weird places, you can travel, you can do a lot of high speed carving down Grand Canyon and that kind of thing. I kind of wish they would support it in 2024. It might actually be a really cool feature. All right, I'm quitting to desktop. I'm changing my category for this to just chatting. I'm going to look and see what's been posted in my Discord. Give me a second, okay? I'm in just chatting. I'm looking to see what's been posted in my Discord. I'm not going to show it yet, though. What do we got here? Okay, so how long are these? These were posted by my... Hold on a second. Posted by my loyal viewer. Okay, it's 2 minutes, 30 seconds. We're going to watch it. I would say, really, the Grand Canyon doesn't look as good. You're right. See, some things look better in 2024. And I agree with you. 2024 looks a lot better. A lot of things look better in 2024, but just not certain features. Like, for some reason, the Griffith Observatory and the Hollywood sign just don't look anything like it. They look really bad. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I guess some assets were moved over and it just seems random. But a lot of Europe looks a lot better in 2024. It still looks really good. All right. Come over here if you really want to watch this. I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out. It says Skibbity Different Season 1. And I believe this is effectively fan stuff. Too loud. But at least I get the feeling that these are not remixes of existing episodes, but are at least it's something where a fan said, I want to do something like that, but kind of had to do it all themselves. Now, obviously, the buildings and other things are assets that you could plant, but the models and a lot of this other stuff, are different enough that I think they're remakes, which is kind of cool. It's cool in and of itself. It doesn't really have to be, that amazing. And I can already tell you one thing I like about this that I have a problem with almost all the other material is almost all the material has so much shaking camera effect shaking, pixelization, that you can't even really tell what's going on. Intentionally, it's designed to make the, you know, make this stuff look better. But yeah, you can tell how much work it is to make you know, smooth motions look realistic. Because typical motions that you program into a computer don't look realistic because they start and stop too abruptly, for example. But, you know, that's why it takes weeks and weeks of refinement to produce something like this, especially if you only got one or a couple people working on them. And again, we're basically in 79 part 2 waiting room. What do we got here? Another minute. Yeah, and this is being rendered at a lower resolution, which saves a lot of time. I mean, you can always remaster these, but this is definitely rendered at 360 or 480. Yeah, probably 480 still. Yeah, these motions are definitely, I mean, you know, it's a good try. I liked it. I mean, I just think it's impressive that there's so much fan stuff that are being added. Okay, give me a second here. The next thing that's happening is the big brain games. So let me cue that up. Got to get through them. I haven't done them yet today. I don't like to do them every day. Just to kind of make sure everything's functioning up there in the brain pan. So play a Quirtle, which is like the Wordle where you're solving 5-letter words using a set of clues. But in the Quirtle, you solve 4. Later, we'll do the Octurtle, which we solve 8. And I like to, you know, by using my 3 starting word strategy, it makes it a lot easier and faster. I know some people have 3 starting words, but they're different, though. Let's see. This could be broom. It could be... I don't know. Could it only be broom? I think so, yeah. All right, lower left, it could be purer, P-U-R-E-R. And the upper left is the last one we're doing. Then we're going to do a bunch more games. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this one could be vault, V-A-U-L-T. Oh, or it could be adult. Yeah, you know what I mean? 50-50. It could have been vault, but it wasn't. But at least we figured it out from making a incorrect chance. Oh, yeah, let's do the weekly challenge because it's Monday. So we're going to do an extra weekly Quirtle. But again, the Quirtles are fast. Oops. In fact, I kind of, you know, try to do them. Okay, this lower left sling or slink. But this one here is got to be lumpy. Upper left. Then we have another Y here, which could be musky, because, oops, has to have an S there. It could be It can't be mussy. What is it? Mushy, I don't know. All right, good enough. The next one is going to be slink on the lower left. Again, I remember it was either sling or slink, but then we did a K word, and it's in there. And the last word here is going to be, maybe we'll try metal, M-E-D-A-L. Because it could be metal. All right, next game is the Revealed. I've been enjoying this game for the past, 4 months now, roughly. Okay, it's a person. First name has 6 letters, middle name of 2, and last or whatever of 4. Okay, the person, born August 17th some year, blank, blank, is one of blank most blank, blank, famous for his blank, blank of blank, and blank, blank, and later in his blank for his blank of blank. Blank one blank for his blank and blank, 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 blank. I want to see some reveals. Cranky old men. Cranky old men. That's an interesting reveal. I want to see what this is. Oh, The Godfather Part 2. Rob, now that is, I think I should have got that with it. I should have got this one without that one. But anyway, we should have not needed that last one. All right, so we got it. That was an easy one. We got it in 2 reveals, right? Was that 2? That was 2. I should have had a 1. I'm sure this was when we compare ourselves to other people. Yeah, I mean, we did better, but that was considered an easy one. I liked it. It's a fun game. The next game we're going to play, we're already done. It's called the Tightrope Trivia. This is that we've gone over to the theoretically easier trivia quiz. It's a 9-question timed multiple choice trivia quiz. Let's get started. I'm going to think it's Costco. I'm just guessing, but hey. There's a Dear John letter. I'm not going to read these out loud because it slows me down. I'm trying to comprehend, just use my reading comprehension as quick as possible. I think some of these are also process of elimination style answers. I don't necessarily know the right answer, but I know 3 of them are wrong. That's easy enough because I go to London all the time. I'm always pointing out the Shard, and we always travel up the River Thames. Gills. Octopus. I think I should have known that. A dolphin wouldn't have gills. Okay. Fermentation. Hopefully we'll cross this one. But I mean, if I get any wrong, it's a loss. It's just that's how it is. All right, yeah, these were pretty easy. I probably should have got that other one, but hey, 8 out of 9 ain't terrible. Actually, it is. I'm a certified trivia master, and if I don't get these, if I keep losing these, I'll lose my certification. All right, what do we got? High Flyer, Tightrope, that was it. Walking Encyclopedia, that's a terrible because there's 2 lever. And actually, no, there's only 1 above that one, but still, Walking Encyclopedia. All right, we got 2 more games. They're going to be the Octurtles. I just like to do 2 of these every time. We'll start with the basic Octurtle or the standard one, and then we'll move to the really hard one, which is called the Rescue. Oops. All right, again, use the exact same set of 3 starting words I use every time. That really speeds things up. Lower left here, could that be voice and not much else? All right, let's pick up some of the easy ones here. What do we got here? Hard, hard, hard. This one here, could be seen, I think. And on the right, looks like triad. And let's see. Oh, good. Now we're getting more clues on this one on the lower right. So let's see. This could be these title. Tidal. Then we got up here. Okay, this is that could be break. I guess it can't be brave. So it's got, let's try the break for the upper right. This is the easy one. All right, we got 3 to go. Let's see. Upper left could be worry. I'm going to try worry. And let's see. We got 2 left here, the bottom ones. Lower left is going to be parka. And the lower right, that's the only hard one, but that's okay. We know it has R-E and then ends in, it could be green. Because it ends in N. All right, let's do the hard one. The hard one's the rescue. It's hard because I don't get to use my powerful 3 starting words. it picks 4 random ones for you, and then you basically have to undo the damage that is done. Although we do have usually a few. This one, C. If there's an A, an N, and an O in there. So it can't be canoe, C-A-N-O-E. It's got to be canoe. So at least we got some obvious ones. This one here. This could be, it could be, it has to be D-I-C-E, but not diced. Could it be dicey? It could be dicey, which is good because we need that Y somewhere, I'm sure. And this one here upstairs, up the right, I saw this before. It kind of has to be lie, L-I-E. I don't really see anything else that's going to fit that. And that L was super important. All right, so we should be able to get this one here now because it's got to be up lower left. It has to be lurch. It's fully spelled out for us, lurch. Kaboom. All right, we're making progress. I'm liking it. Let's see. Have a TH. It could be ether, E-T-H-E-R. Don't try this. I'm pretty good at this game. Don't step up to me. I mean, I just do this every day. So, all right, this one here, lower left, we have all the letters that it's given us. But it could be riser, R-I-S-E-R, riper, piper. Geez, could be a million things. That's not good. Let's try to find something that's not got a million options here. Interesting that the H is at the end. There's an L and an O to place. What could become... If it ends in O-S-H, it would be flosh or slosh, possibly. Let's guess slosh. I don't want to be here all day. I like it for slosh. Oops, I messed up. It was slosh. Boy, that was lucky. Boy, I got distracted for a second. That's good because we needed that. Now we have 3 guesses to get the last 2 words, which is good because this last one here, let's see. It could be flyer, right? Previously, we didn't have any idea, but now we know there's a Y in there. And this, we're doing really well. We have 1 left and 2 guesses. All right, this is the one that could be a million ones, though. We still don't have a P. So it could be riper or piper. Let's try riper. It wasn't riper. It was river, hopefully. Oops. So I wasn't quite on the right track, but hopefully if it's river, we win. I feel good about that. I only get about a little more than half of these. All right, I got to move on. Yay, we've pretty much done all the little segments I like to do before the musical segment. But then we'll take a short break. We got plenty of Diet Coke left. I'm going to plug in my guitar, dink around on the guitar a little bit. Nothing really exciting, but who knows? I might sing a song. I might not. I don't know. You never know. I might just talk about guitars. I'm sure I'll play it a bit. I might try to play with the sounds a different bit. I'm sure I'll do some karaoke. Stick around unless you have musical taste, to which you guys get the hell out now. noise from coming out of the guitar. All right, I'm stinking around here. Let's get started with the musical segment. Thanks for coming back. If you are, if you're not, that's okay. I'm just having fun doing what I like to do every day, which is play a musical instrument for like 30 or 45 minutes at a time. You know, you get that concentrated. Believe it or not, I slowly am improving on the guitar after all these years too. I don't know about the keyboard. Strat has a very unique sound. Snappy. Talk about the Stratocaster. Is it what makes it special? Stratocaster was one of the most successful guitar designs ever. Came out, I think, 1958. It wasn't the original a guitar, but it came out after the Telecaster. Leo Fender had invented a bunch of manufacturing techniques for the Telecaster, the bolt-on neck, and the way the pickups were installed, and basically creating a assembly line for guitars rather than having one guy build a guitar and then pass it on to the next guy or whatever. There'd be a group of people building bodies, a group of people building the necks completely separately and finishing them completely. Another group of people taking these pickups and the pick guard and installing all the electronics onto this panel here. So you had three groups working independently, producing their little thing. Then they test the electronics to make sure the electronics work before they ever installed on a guitar. Then one other group would be taking a neck, a body, and an electronics package, and basically putting everything together and stringing it up. A really efficient way to produce guitars, because he wanted to sell a lot of guitar amps. So he figured he should also sell a lot of guitars. But the other thing this had a lot of it had the tremolo bridge was considered a really fancy feature at the time, and also basic things like how the contours of the body were done for ergonomic comfort. That's why on just about every Stratocaster, not all of them, but everyone says original contour body on the top there. That's basically that was the main claim to fame. It was the most comfortable guitar to play, electric guitar, solid body. So I got this one in 2011. They came out with a very limited series of Mexican-made Stratocasters for a very reasonable price. I think $500 roughly, but each one of them has it's for $50 more. You get a really unusual finish, and in this case they were called Swirls, and they only made a couple hundred of these, and they're all quite different. And the Swirl is made by taking a primed body, obviously you don't have the neck or any of the electronics attached to it, and dipping it in a vat, which you put these swirled oil paints in. You see the back there, and the interesting thing is the paint goes through the cavity there. I mean, it goes through all the cavities, but it goes through the cavity that's used for the trim springs, the spring cavity. And so I saw this one online, and they showed pictures of it, so I knew this was the coolest one. At least that was available for sale. I think some of the coolest ones are probably snapped up. You can't get these anymore. They didn't make it. They don't do this. They don't make any like one-off factory finishes anymore. But it's theft proof, because if you stole this guitar and and somebody took a picture of it, they'd be like, I know whose guitar that is. Unlike one that has a standard finish. I made some modifications to this guitar. I'm going to talk about it right now. Okay, for one thing, I have replaced the tuners It's a very thing I do with most of my Fenders. If it doesn't come with these locking Fender tuners, I buy a set of those. You just drop them in, take the old ones out, and drop the new ones in. Locking tuners. It says something on the back. What does it say on the back there? Yeah, it says Fender Special Edition. You know, because this body style. What other modifications? So one of my guitar idols is David Gilmour from the band Pink Floyd, and he's always played a lot of Strats, but he has a special way of setting up his Strats. He's had since he started. Basically, he was experimenting a lot with different guitars, different styles, and different kind of string weights. So I have David Gilmour's signature Strat string on these. These strings are not the typical Fender like Ernie Ball's lights or D'Addarios that I typically use. These are specific David Gilmour signature strings, and they're thicker than the typical ones. So I had to after putting the thicker strings on, because there's more tension, I had to changed a lot of things. Like I had to tighten down the springs in the back, the trim springs, a lot of things related to the intonation, string height. So it's been completely worked on. The other thing, this is a major change. If you've ever seen a Stratocaster, this whammy bar looks a little weird. Most whammy bars are quite a bit longer. They go out to here. This one's 2 inches shorter, which is a lot. It wasn't a defect. I ordered the short whammy bar specifically because David Gilmour would cut his whammy bars. They didn't have short ones, but he'd take a regular whammy bar, he'd take this tip off, and he'd take a hacksaw, hack it off, and then put the tip back on to make his own version of a short whammy bar. And the reason why you want a short whammy bar as opposed to the long one is I want to hold it by the tip, right, like there, and then I want to play between these two pickups. If the whammy bar is 2 inches longer, then I'll be out here strumming on the actual fretboard. I don't like doing that. It doesn't work for me. This one, now what the disadvantage is is that you need to use a lot more power to get to the tremolo effect that you want. But you get used to it. Until it's going out of tune. Hey Johnny, it's good. I'm just ready to play some songs, but I gotta keep tuning up my Strat. Hope you're having a nice day. Yeah, all those bends put it completely out of tune. That's the thing about a Strat. It's not going to stay in tune if you bend it a lot. But I don't bend a lot. All right, let's play some songs. The other thing is this is the center pickup. It sounds a little thin. I've got it. This is not a new guitar. I've had this for more than 10 years. And I have played it. Just, you may not have seen it. I don't play it that much. This is what they call the neck, or the bridge pickup. Still not quite tuned up. Little tricky to keep tuned. That's the only real downside of a Strat. It's about as good as I'm going to get. All right, let's switch over to some actual tunes of some kind. Do. because I feel like, you know, playing some tunage, you know, it's just kind of what I like to do. Let's see what we got here. Start with a little REM. Yeah, I've decided. I don't think I'm switching. Pull out Andy Kaufman in a wrestling match. Napoli 21 checkers and chefs. Mr. Everglassy in a breakfast mess. I'm cold. Let's play Twister, let's play Risk. See you in heaven if you make the list. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey, baby, are we losing touch? If you believe they put man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up his sleeve, nothing is cool. Moses went walking with a staff of wood. Newton got beaten by the apple good. Egypt was troubled by the horrible asp. Mr. Charles Darwin had the gall to ask. And did you hear about this one? Tell me how you locking the punch. Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey, baby, are you having fun? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, nothing is cool. Here's a little legend for the never believer. Here's a little ghost for the offering. Here's a truck stop instead of St. Peter's. Mr. Andy Kaufman's gone wrestling. Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me how you locked in the punch. Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Say it, baby, are we losing touch? If you believe Our next one's going to be a little James Taylor, though. Carolina on my mind. I hope I remember how to play this one. And also what my repo is. No, not this one. Sorry. It messed up. There we go. Too loud. Sorry about this. So you can hear it. Nope. Give one. Also, give me a second here. I do like singing this song, but I do want to make sure we're moderately in tune. Alright, close enough for the song. It's called Carolina on My Mind. James Taylor. In my mind. Close enough. Thanks, Donnie. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm going to Carolina with my mind. Carrying cheese and silver sun, you best to walk her way and watch it shining. Watch her, watch the morning come. A silver tear appearing, now I'm crying. Ain't I going to Carolina in my mind? There ain't no doubt in no one's mind that love's the finest thing around. Whisper something soft and kind. And hey, babe, the sky's on fire. I'm dying. Ain't I going to Carolina in my mind? In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine who hit me from behind? Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Dark and silent late last night, I think I might have heard that highway calling. Geese and black and dogs are biting. Signs that might be omens say I'm going, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. With a holy host of others standing around me, till I'm on the dark side of the moon. And it seems like it goes on like this forever. You must forgive me if I'm a bad going to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Just like a friend of mine, get me from behind. Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Going to Carolina in my mind. Carolina in my mind. Carolina in my mind. I've gone. Ain't nothing about me. I'm gone. So you got to carry on without me. I'm gone. All right. Next song is called. It's not something the way she moves. It's a great song. It's a John Denver song. It's called country. It's not country road. It's not country road. I think these are about the same. Hold on a second. Gotta get the right key. I think it's here. There it is. There we go. I got my reverb on this time. It's a G, but G, I guess A. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Green Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place. Gotta get the chords. I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I get the chords wrong. All my memories gathered around her. Miner's lady, stranger to the water. Dark and dusty, hanging on the sky. Just a taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home. Place I belong, West Virginia. Mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear a voice in the morning now. She calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I got a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. All right, I'm gonna sing one out without actually playing the guitar, just because I've enjoyed doing it. That's how it is. I'm probably done. I just have to get back to work. But it's a really short song. Little Diet Coke I need. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. If I could make days last forever, if words could make wishes come true, I'd save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. If I had a box just for wishes, dreams that have never come true, that box would be empty except for the memory of how they were answered by you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know you're the one I want to go through time with. This one always seems to be a relatively smooth.
Sinking.
Kiss me out of the beard and body, night me beside the green grass. Swing, swing, swing the spinning step. Wear those shoes, I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Leave me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. Kiss me down by the broken treehouse. Swing me upon its hanging tire. Ring, ring, ring a flowered hat. We'll take the trail marked on your father's map. Oh, kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Meet me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. Kiss me beneath the milky twilight. Leave me down on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. That song is going to be Sister Golden Hair. Let me find it here. Until Monday or Wednesday, at least. Sister Golden Hair, please. Oh, it's right here. Got you right, queued up right here. Table 2. Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed. that I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure could be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Mr. Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent. I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will I be just a little, just enough to show you care? When I tried to fake it, I'm saying just can't make it. All right, some days. But I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent. I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Yeah. Will I be just a little, just enough to show you care? When I tried to fake it, I'm saying just can't make it. I want to learn Ventura Highway too. That's another of my favorite America songs, but I don't quite. I had played in the past. I have to relearn it. I'll get 1 second here. Perfecto. I do have to be getting back. Thanks again for everybody drop by. Donnie, all sorts of regulars came by. I appreciate my regular viewers. I'm sure a few lurkers and strangers came by. But I appreciate you too. If you're talking about Mike, if you're a lurker, that's fine too. Hey, so what happened today? We flew around a bit. We did some big brain games. We watched some amateur skibbity fan stuff. I wouldn't call it what if. But that's fine. It's from our fan. Same fan as a fan of us. Had a good old time. Did some big brain games. 8 out of 9 on the trivia quiz. Not good. But there's always tomorrow, or in this case, Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11:30 a.m. regular time. Excuse me. I need a little Diet Coke after all that singing. Well, I'm looking at all the songs I did not do karaoke today. Drive, Paint It Black, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Psycho Killer, Brown Eyed Girl, The Sign, Amy. All these different, I know, stoners. Hey, that's cutting it close to home. All right. Why did you just get here, by the way? It's acceptable. As long as I appreciate you being here, even if it's for the last 30 seconds. All right. Yeah, it is late storm clouds, and it's going to be even worse in about 5 minutes. That's why I don't like to smoke for the 2 or 3 hours. Diet Coke off more. Well, the Diet Coke is the cure. Hey, Charles, good to see you. It's a good thing I stream for 2 hours, almost 2 hours, or people wouldn't come by. They see you going live, but it takes them a while to get into a situation where they can sit and come say hi. So it's nice to be able to sit, have a decent amount of stream. Don't stream for less than 2 hours. If you unless like Charles, like you're doing IRL stuff, it's really hard to do 2 hours of IRL. But you can see the Diet Coke is basically turned brown. Well, it's brownish. It's the ice is melted. It's no longer really giving me that fuel. You know, it's not stream fuel. So we're out of stream fuel. Thus, sadly, really sadly, because I enjoy doing the streams. But as I mentioned, Wednesday, Fridays, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days a week. I'm trying to hold on to the 5-day schedule. It definitely has lost its effervescence. Thank you for using a complicated word. You could say carbonation as well, but in both cases, you'd be right. 0, well, maybe 1% effervescence. It's that first, you know, I pour the thing right out of the can, and then I take a sip right away, and that's like the, ooh, you know, and then you get the last. But it's still, I mean, as I say, Diet Coke. Go down to your local store right now after the end of stream and purchase $700,000 worth of this product if you can, because I'm trying to get a sponsorship, okay? And tell them Kench 9er sent you, okay? Because I'm trying to get credit here. All right. I wish I could hear all the fun people showed up in the end here. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Come by next time. Thanks for coming and saying hi. I don't know if she's I haven't been on Kick for a while, but I'll be watching it. I don't know if she's on. All right, see you guys next time.